Hello, drama lovers, welcome back to my channel today. Next, Lily decides to confide in Tracy about Malcolm having aplastic anemia. She can't help him and it feels awful. Sobbing, she fears what might happen if he doesn't find another donor soon. Lily Tracy YNR Lily explains that she always felt guilty that she couldn't save her dad's life. Now she can't save Malcolm. Tracy learns she can't be a donor because of her past cancer treatments and soothes that this isn't her fault. As Lily cries over the idea of losing Malcolm, she notices she has a text from him. He wants to see her. Tracy gives her another pep talk. Shell-shocked at Crimson Lights, Stephanie tells Holden what steps he'd have to do to become a donor for Malcolm, who suggests he start by finding out if he's a viable option. Stephanie runs off to set it up. Holden remarks on Malcolm being Lily's father and the two of them being brother and sister. He had a friend that was like a brother until he lost him. Malcolm's sorry. Holden tries to get his head around Lily being his sister. Malcolm hopes they're on good terms. Holden assures him they're on civil terms. Holden can't get over his mom hiding this all these years. It's surreal. Mal's shell-shocked himself, but he doesn't have time to process. But he assures Holden he wants to, and hopes his son wants a relationship. Stephanie reappears and tells Holden the clinic can take him this afternoon. Once he's gone, Malcolm confronts Stephanie. I can't believe you did this. How could you keep my son from me? Stephanie Malcolm YNR Stephanie didn't want to disrupt his life, she supposes. They flash back to old times, after which he grunts, and you left town carrying our child. Stephanie asks him to be honest, would he really have been ready to welcome a child into the world? Mal says, I guess we'll never know. They bicker as she admits she wouldn't have told Malcolm the truth if she hadn't been trying to save his life. Malcolm's irked by this, but has to go meet Lily. He'll tell her about Holden. It's not the first time she's had a bomb like this dropped on her. Third wheel later, at Society, Holden has had the test and stands looking at his mom's contact info on his phone, agonizing over her lying to him his whole life. Audra sneaks up as he's talking to himself, and he tries unsuccessfully to get rid of her. Holden Audra YNR when Holden snaps at her. Audra realizes something happened. He's not up for confiding in her, but Audra reminds him they already share a big secret. She can see he's hurting. Holden tells her point blank to leave him alone. She stalks off and Claire appears. Holden tells Claire he could use someone to talk to, and she assures him they're still friends. Audra passes by, makes a face, and then eavesdrops from the doorway as Holden tells Claire that a person he trusted kept something major from him. Holden Claire YNR, he explains that his father died when he was a baby, but his mom has now told him that Jerry Novak wasn't his biological father. His dad is still alive, and he just met him. He also has a sister, it's Lily Winters. Audra frowns and takes off. Audra YNR Holden explains to Claire about Malcolm, not Neil, being Lily's dad. He seems like a decent guy and just found out today too. Claire asks why his mom told him now. Holden explains that Malcolm needs a bone marrow donor. He's been tested and is waiting for results. The part of all of this that gets him is his mom keeping him in the dark. He can't help but wonder what else she hasn't told him. The final scene's at the club. Malcolm tells Lily he already knows she can't be a donor. Lily's sorry. She questions if they can trust Stephanie to come through. Malcolm explains that Stephanie isn't just his doctor. They dated back in the day. She came to Genoa City with another solution. Get ready, he warns. When I tell you what it is, it's going to blow your mind. Malcolm tells Lily that Stephanie left town pregnant. He didn't know. She had a son, his son, and kept that news from him until today. Lily gawps. Are you saying that I have another brother? Lily YNR at Society. Claire thinks Holden's mom owes him an explanation. His phone rings and it's Stephanie. He's not ready to talk to her and asks Claire to take a walk. She takes his hand. At Crimson Lights, Stephanie leaves Holden a voicemail. She's sure he's angry, and she won't make excuses, except she thought she was doing the right thing back then. It didn't matter until Malcolm's life was in jeopardy. She hopes he'll open his heart and find a way to forgive her at the club. Malcolm's sorry he's dumped this on Lily out of the blue. Lily asks if he knows who her brother is, and he says he does. She's thrilled that he can get tested to be a donor. Malcolm says he's doing that as they speak. Lily frowns. You met him? Mal nods a little while ago. He's in town and his name is Holden Novak. Lily's jaw drops. In Genoa City, secrets rarely stay buried for long, and when they begin to surface, the fallout can be explosive. This time, a chain reaction of hidden truths and unexpected revelations sends shockwaves through multiple lives, leaving relationships strained and loyalties tested. It all begins quietly, almost innocently, with a conversation that was never meant to be overheard. Holden, weighed down by the burden of everything he's been carrying, finally lets his guard down in front of Claire. For once, he isn't trying to be strong or evasive, he's simply honest. The vulnerability in his voice is unmistakable as he opens up about his fears, his past, and the complicated web he's entangled in. Claire listens closely, sensing the gravity of what Holden is revealing. She's aware that this isn't just casual conversation. This is something deeper, something that could change everything. Holden's words are filled with hesitation, as though even speaking them aloud could trigger consequences he's not ready to face. He talks about the pressure he's under, the decisions he's made, and the ones he may soon have to make. There's a quiet desperation in him, a sense that time is running out. But what neither of them realizes is that they're not alone. Just beyond earshot, Audra finds herself in the perfect position to hear every word. At first, it's accidental. She wasn't deliberately spying. But once she catches on to the nature of the conversation, she doesn't walk away. Instead, she stays hidden, absorbing every detail with growing interest. Audra's expression shifts as she pieces things together. What she hears isn't just surprising, it's valuable. Information is power, and Audra knows exactly how to use it. The more Holden confides in Claire, the more Audra begins to understand the full scope of what's at stake. There are implications here, consequences that could ripple through multiple lives, including her own. As Holden continues speaking, his trust in Claire becomes more evident. He believes she's someone he can rely on, someone who won't judge him or betray his confidence. Claire, in turn, feels the weight of that trust. She knows that whatever Holden is sharing isn't something she can take lightly. There's a moment where she considers urging him to be careful, to think about who might be affected by his choices, but she holds back, allowing him to speak freely. Meanwhile, Audra is already thinking several steps ahead. She begins to strategize, considering how this newfound knowledge could benefit her. Whether it's leverage, protection, or an opportunity to get ahead, she's determined not to let this moment go to waste. There's a spark in her eyes, a clear sign that she's already planning her next move. As the conversation between Holden and Claire reaches its peak, the emotional intensity is undeniable. Holden admits things he's never said out loud before, and in doing so, he unknowingly sets off a chain of events that will soon spiral beyond his control. Claire offers reassurance, trying to steady him, but there's only so much she can do. The truth is out now, at least to those who were meant to hear it, and one who wasn't. Elsewhere in Genoa City, Lily is completely unaware of what's unfolding behind the scenes. She's going about her day, focused on her own responsibilities and concerns. But everything is about to change. The news reaches her suddenly, without warning, and the impact is immediate. It's not just surprising, it's staggering. Lily is blindsided in the truest sense, caught off guard by something she never saw coming. The information shakes her to her core, forcing her to question everything she thought she knew. At first, she struggles to process it. There's disbelief, confusion, and a growing sense of unease. How could something so significant have gone unnoticed? How could the people around her have kept this from her? The realization that she's been in the dark hits hard, leaving her feeling vulnerable and exposed. As the shock begins to settle, it's replaced by a surge of emotion. Anger, hurt, and frustration rise to the surface. Lily isn't someone who takes betrayal lightly, and even the perception of being left out or misled is enough to ignite her fury. She starts to connect the dots, revisiting past interactions and conversations with a new perspective. The more she thinks about it, the more determined she becomes to get answers. She refuses to remain in the dark any longer. If there are secrets being kept, she's going to uncover them, no matter what it takes. Back with Audra, the situation continues to evolve. Armed with the knowledge she's gained, she begins to subtly position herself for what comes next. She doesn't act immediately. Instead, she waits, observing how things unfold. Timing is everything, and Audra is patient. She considers who might be affected most by what she's learned and how those reactions could play into her hands. There's a careful calculation in her approach, a willingness to let events play out just enough before stepping in. It's a dangerous game, but one she's more than willing to play. Claire, on the other hand, finds herself in a difficult position. She knows what Holden shared was deeply personal, but she can't shake the feeling that it might not stay contained for long. There's a lingering tension, a sense that something is about to unravel. She begins to worry about the potential consequences, not just for Holden, but for everyone involved. Should she encourage him to come clean before it's too late? Or should she respect his wishes and keep his confidence? It's a moral dilemma that weighs heavily on her. Holden, unaware of Audra's eavesdropping, feels a strange mix of relief and anxiety. Opening up to Claire has lifted some of the burden, but it's also made everything feel more real. There's no going back now. The truth is out there, even if only partially, and the risk of it spreading is very real. As tensions build, the interconnected nature of these events becomes more apparent. What started as a private conversation is now on the verge of becoming public knowledge. The lines between trust and betrayal begin to blur, and the consequences of each decision grow more significant. Lily's determination to uncover the truth brings her closer to the center of it all. She begins asking questions, seeking out information, and refusing to accept vague or incomplete answers. Her persistence puts others on edge, especially those who have something to hide. Audra watches all of this with keen interest. She sees Lily's reaction as both a threat and an opportunity. Depending on how things unfold, she could either be caught in the crossfire or emerge with an advantage. Either way, she's prepared to adapt. As the story continues to unfold, the emotional stakes rise. Relationships are tested, alliances are questioned, and the truth becomes harder to contain. Each character is forced to confront their own choices and the impact those choices have on others. In the end, what makes this situation so compelling is not just the secrets themselves, but the way they ripple outward, affecting everyone in their path. Holden's moment of vulnerability, Claire's quiet support, Audra's calculated observation, and Lily's shocking discovery. All of these elements come together to create a powerful and dramatic turning point. Nothing will be the same after this.